Hey, I hope you're doing well. Quick tip of the day. I just wrapped up Live Academy actually, and somebody, Zar, was asking, I think it was Zar, was asking how the new facility is going. I was like, oh, good. I was just there doing some training drills, working on my serve, and it just kind of struck me as I was talking about this training that I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing a full lesson on it soon. But you see me here doing shadows, abbreviated motion, hitting balls. I'm away from the baseline, so there's three different kind of training aids here. I've taken myself away from the baseline, just out of the normal kind of serve environment routine. I'm doing shadow swings to try to reinforce the change I'm trying to make, and I'm not doing my full motion. I'm just starting from a trophy pose position. So these are all different tools that you can use to narrowly focus on something new and better. You see me here looking and double checking my movements and my mechanics, making sure I'm doing it the right way. I'm going to all this trouble because I've developed bad habits on my serve. And for decades, my serve was totally automatic. I never thought about it. I had a great slice serve. I had a good hybrid topspin. It wasn't a kick serve, but it was topspin slash slice serve. And I could hit it flat too and hit it hard, like to a corner. I was pretty normally probably hitting, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 aces per match. Even though it wasn't the biggest serve ever. It wasn't like a big booming serve. I mixed up my deliveries, my placements really well. And so I never thought about it, like my motion. I had a natural serving motion. And now in the last year, I've developed bad habits. And I don't know when or where exactly it started. But I started getting really tight in my arm and my hand. And that's why you see me here watching my arm and my hand. So that I'm making sure that my arm and my racket drops away from my head. Because on all of my serves in the last several months, my racket was dropping right back behind my head. I had hit my head a couple times in practice. That's how close, and it's because my arm was getting tight and tense and started doing the work. So I've been forced to start to think about my serve again, and common knowledge says that you should never think it. You should just do what comes natural, right? And you should not analyze things, like just toss the ball up and relax and just swing, and your body will figure it out. The last thing you want to do is think a lot about it, because then you'll get all mechanical. It would be great if you could always just chuck the ball up and relax and everything falls into place. That would be fantastic. The reality, real life is this, that after decades of having a loose, fluid, very natural feeling service motion, I developed tight, tense, choppy, bad serves relatively. My motion got really tight and tense. So I'm just sharing that for perspective. When you're a beginner, it's totally wishful thinking that you're going to relax and swing and your body's just going to magically figure it out. Sometimes that happens, but most people are not that lucky. B, even after decades of doing something relatively well, it's always possible to slide and fall into a habit that's not quite as good. And then after potentially decades of not thinking about it at all, you might have to start to think about it in order to move away from a bad habit and move towards a better habit. You might have to think about it again. And kind of common knowledge and common wisdom says that you shouldn't ever do that. But when you have something bad that's happening subconsciously, you have to draw your conscious focus to it in order to move it out and move something else back in its place. You can't just will yourself into not doing a habit, no matter how it is that it got there. I don't know how that, I can hypothesize. I just started arming the first part of my motion when I started training and practicing under pressure and stress again. And all of a sudden, after years of not competing and then competing, I started getting army and like tight and tense with my arm and my shoulder and my hand. And now I have to kind of relearn again how to loosen up and relax and use my body and keep my arm and my hand super loose. It is what it is, you know? So I'm just sharing that for perspective for you, so that you have good expectations and you don't get, like, it'd be easy for me to be frustrated, right? And be like, oh, this is stupid. Like, I always had a good serve. Like, but I know because of my coaching and my teaching and my helping to guide other players that this is life. If you want to try to master a complex, set of movements like tennis, not everything is always going to be your best execution, and you're going to have to kind of shift your focus and your efforts sometimes from thing to thing to thing. And that thing you're focusing on might actually be something you're always really good at until now. Who knows? That's just kind of, it comes with the territory. That's part of it. So a little bit of perspective. Hopefully that's helpful to hear. And keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for updates on this so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well.